Today guys, I'm going to share with you a little trick you can use to separate out your post categories. So by default, they're always in one line like this with commas between them. But if we can separate them out, we can achieve something like this, where they've each got their own pill sort of structure. And I think this is better for design and something you're more likely to expect on a website. And on top of that, we can also achieve this in our loop items. So instead of this, where all our categories are in one pill, we can now have this where they're all separate and all clickable as normal. So I'll start with the post categories on the single post template first. So that's these ones here. So this is my post info widget. I've currently got some padding set up on it. I've got a background set of dark blue, and I've got a border radius set up. And surprisingly, that's all you can do at the minute because there's no way to separate these out. So to do that, I'll start fresh. I'll add my post info widget. And first of all, we don't need all these fields. So I'll delete all of them at set 1 because I want to change comments here to terms. And once I've done that, we can select categories. I want each pill to work as a link. So I'll leave this as on so that each pill can go to its archive page. And then we don't need the icon, so I'll turn that off. So now we've done that, within text under style, I'm just going to give it my global font of body small and bold. And we want the color to be white just so it sits well on the blue background. So I turn that onto light. And now in advanced, we can just copy in this little bit of CSS here. So this CSS, as you can see, it's targeting the individual A tags, which is how we get 3 separate pills. And you can see the comment here says when text color and parent background match. And this means basically this is why you can't see the text at the minute, because it's white and the background's also white. So this is when you'd use this code. So if I copy that in, you can see straight away what's happening is we're getting our backgrounds for each A tag. We're getting padding, and you can change this to whatever you'd like. And we're also getting the border radius to make them pills. And because the text is white, it's hiding the commas. So the commas are actually here. You just can't see them because they're blending in with the background. So the only other thing I'd do is potentially, if you want to space them out a little bit more, just add some margin right. So if I added 5 pixel here, you can see how they've just spaced out a little bit more. I'll just stick 3 in for now, just so it's slightly more spaced. And then after this, the only thing to do is I'd recommend going into your layout section and just making sure this takes up the correct space, because otherwise you can end up with something like this where your text underneath is a little bit close. So just add some margin to the point where the pink box correctly surrounds the elements within. So for me, I know that's top of 9 and bottom of 7. So now structurally, it looks correct. So that's how you achieve it on something like a single post page when the background is the same color as the text. So now I'll show you how we can achieve the same sort of thing, but on a loop item. So this is slightly different because the background now no longer matches the text because the background is an image. So in this case, we can see here, I've got my original sort of pill set up here where it's all on one line. So I'll just delete that one. And again, I'll start from scratch. So we'll add a new post info widget underneath the featured image for now. So post info, and I'll delete everything at set 1 because we only need the terms and categories under taxonomy. And same as before, I'll let them remain as links, but I'll delete the icon. And then following that, I just want my text again to be light, and I want my typography this time to be body small. So now within advanced, I want this to be positioned absolute because it needs to sit in the top right of every loop item. So to do that, we'll go into position here and set it as absolute, and we'll set it to right up here, and it's already set as top. And from the right, I just want it to be 10 pixel away. And from the top, I'll set it as 12 pixel away. So now it sits in the top corner. And now once we've done this, we're ready to add our CSS again. So it's the same CSS as before, but this time when the background, the text color and parent don't match, we need to add this too. So I'll add this first. And what this does is it just sets the color of the text of the comma to transparent, so you won't be able to see the comma, but everything else will remain as white. So you can see that once I've added that, I don't know if you can see, but the comma disappears. And now we've added that, we can add our code as usual, like we added earlier. I'll add that in. And now we've got our separate category pills. As you can see, they're quite large, but that's why I've put here, change as required under padding. So I'll just change mine to 4 and 16. And now we've got our category pills set up. So if I publish this and view this, we can now see them working as we'd expect. And I think that effect just looks much better than having them in one line, because they're their own individual links that they're all clickable and they all lead to an archive page. So I hope you found this one helpful, guys. I just thought I'd share it because I was quite surprised you couldn't just achieve this in Elementor on its own. And it is an effect that I think it's more common to see this sort of setup with separate pills rather than them all being on one line. So yeah, if you have found it useful, feel free to like, comment or subscribe. And if you've got any sort of suggestions or you're struggling with anything, then feel free to let me know and I might be able to take a stab at it, and it gives me some video ideas. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next one.